Welcome back to the Anfield Exchange, and today we're going to be taking a look at why FSG want to buy Malaga Football Club. So we know that when Michael Edwards came in last year, that he was appointed with the task of finding a new football club for FSG to invest in, and he was given the job of running a multi-club project like we've seen with Chelsea, like we've seen with Man City. FSG are going to be looking to take a majority shareholder position in Malaga, so they'll be looking to buy 51% of a club. And yeah, look, it's a successful thing that has happened in the past with Chelsea. They have Strasbourg, and they send players out on loan there. Man City have got Girona, so it's definitely something that Liverpool will be looking into. I don't think it will end with Malaga if we do buy Malaga. I think they'll be looking to create basically a franchise. In terms of Malaga itself, now it's a club that have been in administration since 2019, and I think this is something that will, firstly, it will benefit obviously the club, the fans. It will give them some sort of hope, and it could benefit Liverpool as well. Now, nothing's concrete at the minute. There was interest in 2023 in Malaga from PSG's owners, the Qatar Sport Investment. That hasn't happened, and now Liverpool look like they're possibly going to make a move and try and make this happen. So like I say, Chelsea and Man City have followed the model, but what are the benefits to Liverpool for this? So first things first, there's obviously the commercial benefit. It expands the brand of FSG. We've got obviously Boston Red Sox. They've got stakes in a NHL team. So we're looking to build the franchise, and this takes it to another level. Again, in the same way that Chelsea and Man City have done it. On the field, though, what normally happens with these multi-sport projects is, so you will have the top dog, which is Liverpool, and then you'll have the teams below it that are obviously owned by the same owners. So what would happen? Malaga would then be asked to play in the same style of football that Liverpool play. It aids youngsters' development. So any young players coming through at Malaga, they get that from the offset, that way of playing the Liverpool way. So if another Isco was to come through, then it sort of sets him up for him to move to Liverpool if Liverpool deem him good enough for the club. So that's one way it can benefit Liverpool. Also, it can help to potentially develop Liverpool players in terms of, look at James McConnell this season, look at Jadon Danns. Those guys haven't had enough football, and their careers, what you don't want to happen with young players is that the careers stagnate, and that seems to be what's happened with James McConnell. You look at the likes of Trey Nione, Rio Nungamoa. There's plenty of young potential at Liverpool that need game time, and sometimes a loan isn't the answer. So you can loan a player to a club, but that club tends to know, we have this player for a year, then he's going back to Liverpool. So the club will always put the club first, as opposed to putting the player's needs first. And I think, again, that's another aspect of having the same owners that can benefit the players, like I say, such as James McConnell, Jadon Danns. You see it with Andre Santos. I think he's currently still playing for Strasbourg. I think he's the captain there now. And it's just giving them that game time to get them up to speed, to get them ready to come straight into that Chelsea team and start to play the Chelsea way. So definitely, again, another example is Savio with Man City. Savio was at Girona last year. He had a very good season. He's come to Man City. Okay, he's not hit the ground running, but you can certainly see that there's a good young player in there, and he's potentially going to be a player that will be a Man City player for a long, long time. So those are a couple of examples. What it also does, it also widens the scouting network. So it gives us the opportunity to become aware of more players. So if you look at say the Brighton model, you see that the likes of Caicedo, the likes of Alexis McAllister, they come through at Brighton. McAllister's obviously Argentinian and Caicedo is Ecuadorian. But Brighton have this way of bringing in unheard of players and turning them into world beaters, to be honest. That's because they've got a wide scouting network, and that's what the aim would be for Liverpool. We know that there's an emphasis from Liverpool in terms of a transfer market. We don't tend to buy the finished article. We buy the potential, and with a wider scouting network, that could definitely help us as a club. Like I said, I touched on the fans. The Malaga fans are obviously going to be craving stability after obviously the financial issues that they've had. This would bring that to them. And yeah, it would also, another benefit for Liverpool on the field would be it gives you the opportunity to experiment with tactics. So we know that the Premier League financials are so great, it adds pressure to those teams to get victories, and you can't really experiment with things in the Premier League because you get found out, you lose a game, it's over, experiment over. Malaga are in the third tier of the Spanish league, and it will give them the opportunity to try out an experiment. So for example, if Arne Slot wanted to try out a formation, but he was a little bit unsure, would it work, could it work, Malaga could try that out and see what the effects of that, see what the positives are, see what the cons are, and then if there are minimal cons and a lot of positives, that's something then that Arne Slot could implement onto the Liverpool team, and yeah, we'd have an idea of, right, this is how it's supposed to work, this is how it can work, and there's not those negatives. So it's not really trial and error on the bigger stage, but it is trial and error later on down the line. Like I say, in a low pressure environment. Also, what it would do is it would allow Liverpool a place to stay, so warm weather training, which Liverpool haven't had before, and that's handy. So if we're playing a European game in Spain, it would give us an extra couple of days to get training acclimatized to the weather. We wouldn't have to travel the day before. It just makes the whole process easier. In terms of a location, now I was unaware of this, I did a little bit of research, and apparently it can give us access to up-and-coming African prospects as well. So we all know there's a lot of very, very good players in Africa. I mean, take Mo Salah, for example. But a lot of them don't get the platform they deserve. This could give us the ins to be able to bring those players over to Liverpool or even over to Malaga to get used to the Liverpool way. And it could be potentially a very, very promising thing for Liverpool as a football club. Overall, I think it's a very clever idea. I think once we get the deal over the line for the first one, I think there's going to be more. I think that's the job of Michael Edwards. He's going to be trying to find... So obviously we'll pick one up in Spain. I know there were interest in Bordeaux. I think that didn't go through because of the financials. But we know that there will be other places like France where we'll want to invest. So I think we're looking to expand the brand. And yeah, there's plenty of pros for us buying Malaga. We'll just have to wait and see if the deal can actually get through. Who knows, PSG might get the deal over the line if they're still working on it. That's been going on for a while. Just have to wait and see. Let me know what you think of the video. I'll see you on the next one.